Welcome back to another episode of First Rounds and Me, a First Rounds and Media production. Today, we're joined by the brilliant, hilarious, and ridiculously charismatic Kalissa Persaud. We're talking about what it really means to be an actor in an era where follower counts can make or break opportunities, the rise of micro-influencers over celebrities, aka why audiences trust individuals more than they do icons, how AI is penetrating the arts, and the collective attention collapse. Kalissa, welcome to the show.
Thank you. What a loaded intro, my goodness.
Thank you very much.
I like the charismatic part, is good.
You're very charismatic.
Oh, thank you.
Not only in person, but then also through the content that you create.
We just met like 5 minutes ago and you're already getting that vibe.
Listen,
I love it.
I feel I trust myself as a very good judge of character.
Great.
And I can always tell within the first 30 seconds to a minute if I'm going to get along with somebody.
I love it.
We're best friends basically already.
Yay, good.
I always start the podcast off with this one question because I feel like it's very interesting. It's very telling of who you are. If you could make everyone you ask answer one question truthfully, what would it be and why?
What do you think of me? I need to know what people think of me. Not because I care necessarily. I'm just curious. Just want to know. Just want to get a little feeler.
Another great answer. And contrary to everybody else, you answered it so quickly. Whereas that question,
stumps
everyone's
so many people.
and then there's like a minute pause. And then something great comes out, but
no, I wish I could read minds every single day.
Do you though?
Yeah, a little bit.
Don't you think your feelings will get hurt sometimes?
If they do, at least I know, at least I know if you don't like me and then we can move on versus us maybe being friends for like 2-3 years. And then I'm like, what's your deal? Why is there so much tension? And you go, I've actually had a weird feeling about you since the day we met.
Never liked you.
What do you think about yourself?
Oh dear. I'm cool. I'm content with my life as it stands right now. I think I dress cool.
Agreed.
Yeah, I've been trying new things with my hair. I think I'm pretty courageous for that.
Okay,
yeah, and things are just going well. So I feel like I'm doing well, and I'm a cool girl.
That's like that.
What I feel.
love the self-love.
It's taken a long time to get here. But yeah.
I think there's so many people, in particular women, who will go out of their way to be like, oh, no, I'm not this or I'm not that. Or they're like shroud behind it. I love when women sit there and say, no, I love all these parts about me and I'm unapologetic about it. But also telling the truth of the fact it takes a little bit of work to get there.
Oh, 100%. I would not have given you that answer maybe even a year and a half ago.
Really?
It's been a journey for sure. And I think a huge thing that has helped me is being self-employed. That has definitely helped me feel a lot more like, oh,
how do you feel about that? Because we were talking to our last guest and it was, for us, it's such a great conversation because we're self-employed. And I'm going to sound redundant, but I feel like it's important because it's your perspective.
Yeah.
People think it's glitz and glamour and it's literally the opposite. But like Hannah always says, it's so rewarding. And I use the word freedom because it's hell, but it's like your own free hell.
It's like hell, but like you've got a coat that like protects you from the flames a little bit, if that makes sense.
I like that
okay,
metaphor.
analogy. Yeah, I'm like, but yeah, I mean, I've been an actor since I was 16 professionally, and that's self-employed. Some people don't view it as self-employed. I do. It's me literally just being all the roles and doing all the things myself. But yeah, my content creation journey has been quite a happy accident in my life. I started making content when I was in college. And like everybody else, I was like going to college during the pandemic, just kind of figuring it out, making funny videos just to pass the time. And then I saw that my college, I went to CUNY, the City University of New York.
Which one?
Hunter.
Very cool. I went to Baruch.
Did you?
Yeah.
I went to Baruch for one semester and I said, fuck no, I'm not doing this. Sorry, are we allowed to curse on here?
Yeah, of course.
Yes. Okay,
By the way.
sweet.
I went to Baruch for 3 semesters, never consistent.
Okay.
So I went to all the CUNYs, well, a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And because I went to Baruch for 3 of the semesters, I say I went to Baruch.
Okay.
But
I
just
dabbled.
It took me years and I was all over the place.
I didn't know this about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the more you know. CUNY alums.
You learn something new every
CUNY
day.
alums. Did you graduated though? Okay,
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah.
I went there to play basketball. And
what? At a D3 school? Crazy.
And day one, they took it so serious.
Okay.
And I was like, if I was D1, I would have been sick and I would wake up early and commit to this. But it was D3 and it was the same amount of hours.
Yeah.
And I was 19, so I was like, I want to like hang out and go
just
out.
figuring it out.
So I quit, and then I did a semester, and then long journey.
So when you tried to become an actor?
You did?
I went to acting school. Oh my God,
We have so
you'll
much in
appreciate
common,
this. You'll
me
appreciate
and you.
this.
Yeah.
So actually, the semester I quit Baruch, so this was December of 2008.
Cool.
2000, whatever. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be an actor. I was like, I think I'm really good looking. Like,
Talk about
sorry, no, I
self-love.
didn't mean
no,
to
laugh, please.
Talk about
No,
self-love.
that's just awesome that you.
So
that was great.
at 19, I had a family friend who's a big actor, and
Okay.
he introduced me to his acting coach. He had this class.
Nice.
So it was a really intimate, 7 of us. It was on the east side.
Cool.
So I show up and they're like, okay, here's your first role. Here's your first project. And I think it was me. I was back from war and I was on a bench talking about the war and how I was in love. So everybody's like so into this and like studying and speaks on it. And so it comes to me and I don't know any of my lines. And they're like, Joe, do you study your lines? And I was like, oh no. And like, I'll just read them. So like,
Off the paper?
Yeah, but like think to act. So I was like, oh, all right.
He didn't know what an actor was, clearly.
So then this went on for a few weeks and my acting coach was
For
like,
a few weeks?
my acting coach was like, you have to actually like study and understand the person.
It's true.
And I was like, oh, this is really hard. And he's like, I don't think you're going to be a good actor.
Oh dear.
So I was like, okay. And I told this to my acting coach and I was like, all right, I think I'm just going to transition to modeling. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, I think I'll be a model. He's like, you're not a model. You're not going to be a model. And I was like, all right. And I just quit.
And tried to become a model, and then
the modeling didn't go
No,
well.
because
Okay.
I think I didn't want to grow my hair out, which was my...
So basically, Joe didn't want to do anything that Joe didn't want to do.
Right.
And then everybody in the industry, both creative industries where you have to be a chameleon, because I was a model for a really long time, you're an actress.
Yeah.
Well, you have to be a chameleon.
Yeah.
But the lesson I learned from all this
I'm glad.
Please.
was that being an actor, an actress, or a model is super hard.
Yes.
And it takes a lot of talent.
Indeed.
And you can't just be like, I think I'm good looking.
Yeah.
Let me be an actor.
Yeah.
There's a craft to it. There's a craft to all of the arts. And I think that like it's akin to when they sit there and say like, no Oscars are won for comedy. I think like people never think to themselves that anything in the arts really takes that much effort, because I think people think it comes naturally.
Yeah.
And of course I think you have to have like an innate talent.
For sure. Yeah.
but
for
you
sure.
have to hone that.
What was
You
your
have to hone
first
it.
project, your first job?
My first job. It was I don't know if I can say this. It was a tech commercial. I'll just say that. It was a tech commercial. I haven't seen the contract in literally years, so I like don't know what I'm allowed to say or not, but it was a commercial that never aired.
Okay.
And that was the first thing I worked on. And I was really sad that it didn't air. I was like, oh, you go through the whole audition process and I think I was 16 when I was auditioning for it, and I booked it and I was like, yeah, finally. And I was on set and it was cool and I met cool people, and then they were like, not going anywhere.
What made you want to become an actor?
It was also an accident. I think all the beautiful things in my life are an accident. I wanted to be a singer for a really long time. No, I cannot sing. Please don't ask me to. I would just like watch Hannah Montana and I was like, dude, these songs are really great. And I feel like I want to sing. My sister was a singer too. She's older than me. So I would hear her like singing in the shower and I was like, I guess this is what we have to do now. Like she's singing, so I must sing. This is how it has to go. She got to take acting classes when she was younger. I don't know why I didn't get to take them. I did have a single mom. She was doing everything on her own, paying the bills on her own, everything like that. And we got one of those like radio advertisements that was like, does your kid want to be on Disney Channel? Call this number and da-da-da. So my sister was like, oh, I want to do it. And I remember being in the backseat vividly and being like, I want to do it. And my mom was like, no, only one of you. So my sister Taylor got to do it. She went for like 2 weeks. She couldn't memorize her lines for a Pop-Tarts commercial that they were doing. And then she quit because she cried and she couldn't do it.
So me and your sister have more in common than me
right,
and you.
Exactly. And I remember when she quit, I was like, oh, like, can I go now? Because like, she doesn't want to do it. And my mom was like, no, you can't. And I was like, oh, okay. So I stuck to the singing thing. I was just like singing recreationally a lot. And then I heard about this place called LaGuardia High School from all my friends, which is where like Timothy Chalamet went, Nicki Minaj, all these crazy people. It's on the Upper West Side. And I was like, in the guidance counselor's office, and we were applying to high school. That's what we do in middle school. I don't know how they do it in Australia
we
or
don't
anything.
deal with that, yeah.
And I don't know how they do it in if you're in Staten Island, you had to apply too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we had to apply, and I was like, I'll audition for LaGuardia and I'll do vocal because like I've been singing this whole time. Okay. But all my friends were like, oh, we're doing vocal and drama. And then my friend Daniela was like, you can't audition for one studio, you have to audition for two. And I was like, well, the only thing I'm going to learn how to do like pretty much overnight is acting. I can't learn how to play an instrument. I can't learn how to draw. I can't learn how to do any of the other things. So literally auditioned by accident, because like that's not a rule. If you're watching this and you want to go to LaGuardia High School, you do not have to audition for 2 studios. You can audition for 1. But I didn't know that. So I went to LaGuardia on like a cold December day. I was there for 9 hours auditioning for vocal and drama. For vocal, I just went in there. I sang Someone Like You by Adele. Walked out. And then for drama, we had to do like 2 contrasting monologues from plays. So I did a monologue from The Wizard of Oz, which is like not a play, it's a movie. I don't know why they let me do it, but I did. I did like There's No Place Like Home and whatever.
I suppose it could be a play.
It could be,
You know what I mean?
but like it's not. It was the one from the movie. So like they shouldn't have let me stay there and do it. And then I did one from like You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, which is like Charlie Brown, Snoopy, all those things. And I did crazy monologues. And then they had me do like an improv. And I remember being in the audition at 12 years old and being like, this is cool. I don't really know what's going on, but like, sure. And then we got our admissions results. I got into both studios. I got into vocal and drama. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do vocal because that's the thing that I said I wanted to do. But then I went to the open house, which is where you kind of get to like walk around the halls, meet some of the teachers, talk about the curriculum that you're going to undergo for the next 4 years. And vocal, they were talking about like, yeah, we're going to sing in German and stuff. And I was like, oh girl, like I'm not I can barely speak. Right. I can barely speak English. I'm not singing in German. It's not happening. And I was like, why don't they have like songwriting classes or like pop stuff? Like that's what I want to do. And then I went downstairs to the basement where the drama kids were. And they did this like show essentially. They had all these kids do this show where they were doing like monologues and they were juggling and they were doing improv and like flocking and like it was so.
Is it kind of like SNL? It like reminds me of
essentially,
SNL.
Yes. It's
Okay.
like those
Like a baby
SNL
version
skits
of
you
SNL,
see
yeah.
in the black box and everyone's wearing black and everyone's, blank canvas and they're like inhabiting their characters. And actually that day I got to see Jarrell Jerome do a monologue. He was in that show When They See Us on Netflix. I don't know if you guys watched that. So that's insane that I like watched him like do a monologue and then he like won an Emmy. But I remember just feeling like magical in the room. Yeah. I was just kind of like, I know this wasn't the plan, but like I feel like this is where I need to be. And so
I love when life does that.
Yeah.
I really love when like you set out to, and it truly is like that example that you can't plan out your life.
No,
like
you
can sit
can't.
there and say that you want to be doing X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And so many people are like, oh, I should be here by this time. I should be doing this. Is kind of like what I want to do.
Yeah.
But what is right for you will find you.
Absolutely. And it did. And I was the only kid at my middle school who got into the drama department. So I was like, ha, 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 and it was an accident. So it's cool.
An accident. It was
Destiny, as they say.
a surprise by destiny.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
All right. So acting full time through a happy surprise.
Yes, indeed.
How do you, I'm always really interested by the correlation, the crossover between people who are actors and content creators. Like it's almost unfair for all of the other content creators out there because this is literally what you do for a living. How do you think acting informs content creation and how do you think it actually inhibits it, if any?
Oh, okay. Well, I think in the last few years, like on the industry side of things, I've seen that people are like having conversations where they're like, yeah, if you do content, like casting directors see that and they're like, no, bad, you're not a real serious actor. To me, that's just like noise. Like, I'm like, what do you want me to do in the meantime? Like twiddle my thumbs? Like I've done the training. I went to LaGuardia for 4 years. I also went to Hunter College and did my theater major there during the pandemic. And I felt like I already had my foundational training. So I wasn't like too bummed about that. I decided to go to CUNY so that I could keep auditioning throughout college. I didn't want to go to a BFA program and go into debt, or rather have my mother go into debt for no reason. And I'm really thankful that I like kind of got a leg up early. I got signed straight out of high school. At the end of LaGuardia, we have like this showcase where they bring in like managers and agents and casting directors. And I got signed to Anonymous Content, which is one of the biggest like management companies in the game.
Job.
And Gersh, which is one of the biggest agencies in the game.
Yeah. Well, we
And
used to.
now they have like this massive like digital section of their company, which is so crazy to me because I remember when I had like told my agents and managers like, hey, I'm making these videos and I think people like them. They were like, okay. Which like I don't blame them, like it was a more purist time when I was auditioning and stuff like that. So I don't blame them. But
who'd you work with from Gersh?
I worked with Gabby and Liana.
Okay.
They're completely different. Like Gersh is a massive entity.
Really big.
And it's completely different departments.
Yeah.
We worked with them in business development for the application itself.
Yeah. This was like film and TV, like very separate, but
completely other side.
Yeah, signed with them out of high school, went on crazy auditions. I was doing I literally flew out to LA to do like a chem read for this movie Plan B on Hulu, and I was like freshly 18 and I was scared of everything, and I did a bad job at that
Plan
audition.
B. Who's in that? Is that a big
Kuhu
movie?
Verma. It's American High.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
So wait, so you stayed in New York to audition?
Yeah.
And how is that compared to LA? Because I just know LA as like.
Yeah, so going to do this Plan B chem read was my first time in LA. I hated it. I was like, get me out of here. But also I was alone. So like maybe if my mom had come with me, it would have been like more fun. But like I didn't get the part. And it's totally fine because Kuhu got it and she's awesome. She's really, really, really talented and she's had such an amazing trajectory since then. She was also older than me. The girls that I was against, I was 18, Kuhu I think was 24, and the other girl was 30. And we were auditioning for a 16-year-old. So I was
A
like,
30-year-old's auditioning for a 16-year-old?
welcome to Hollywood.
Wow.
Like
Yeah,
that's so
so-
typical. Yeah.
I was in bridal fucking shoots when I was 16.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's opposite. Or you put pregnant bellies on and you do photo shoots like
Really?
that. Like,
Right.
everything is fake.
I think it's just because like the subject matter sometimes they like don't want to cast true to age. But yeah, I knew when I walked into that room, I was like, I don't have a shot at this. Like these people seem a lot more grounded than I do. I seem nervous. I seem scared, and I was. So I got back home, and my managers called me. They were like, "Yeah, they said you seemed like really nervous in the room." I'm like, "Yeah, I was."
I was.
But that
shitting
was
my
your
pants.
first big thing,
Yeah,
right?
it was my
I mean,
first
I can
time in front of
imagine.
these people and just trying my best, and it wasn't good enough, and that's totally fine. But then I got like another big audition during the pandemic for Mindy Kaling's Sex Lives of College Girls, and I was like, "Ooh, like this role is good for me. It's for someone who's in college. I'm in college. This is great." It was for like this very sex positive girl, and she was like doing the thing. First of all, I was a virgin at the time. Like I was so nervous that they were gonna like see right through
Yeah.
that and be like, "Nah, we're not casting her. This is crazy." But they didn't, and I got down to like final 2 for that. So it was me and the girl who like eventually did get cast. I met Mindy Kaling on Zoom in my living room during the pandemic.
Sick.
What?
You know what's
like,
crazy? I was sitting here, and I don't know anything about Kalissa. And I was like, she reminds me of somebody from either that, because
Yeah.
we watched that. That's
Yeah, I
with
love
Timothy
that show.
Timothy
It's a great
Chalamet's
show.
sister,
Great
right?
show.
Yes.
I love that show. And I've never watched Euphoria, but I feel like it's the same
I could totally see you in
vibe. And I was like,
I've auditioned for
I
Euphoria.
was going to
too.
ask, I was
Yeah.
like, were you in Euphoria or the college? Was it the college?
Sex
Sex
Lives
Lives
of
of College
Girls.
Girls. Yeah. Yeah.
They should have went with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
come on.
They didn't because Pauline Chalamet got cast and she was 28 and I was 18 and I look very young even to this day. Like I am 24, but I know I don't look
For her
it.
part, that's the.
She was 28 when she got cast
she's
for
the other one. She's like,
So
yeah.
wait, was your part? And forgive me if this is.
Yeah.
The Indian girl who got
Yeah.
it. Okay, nice.
It's
Cool. No, I mean you
no,
don't
but
want to
like
say the
yes,
wrong
that
thing.
is who
Like,
I
I
was.
know
No,
that-
I understand. Yeah, that's who I was auditioning for. I found out like right after my second callback that I didn't get it, and then I had to go to Spanish class on Zoom at Hunter College.
Wow.
So it was bad and strange, and that audition took me out for like 2 weeks. Really, really,
She's
really
really
bad.
funny.
But
I
you're
like
She's so
her.
funny. Yeah.
But that's so interesting, and I don't think a lot of people realize that, like the rejection culture that actors face,
Yeah.
right? But then also because so many actors are quite young when they start and they're honing their craft, you went from doing a very, very adult thing,
Yeah.
right? Being around a lot of adults, and then all of a sudden having to transition back to being a teenager,
Yeah.
going to college, and having those like youthful experiences.
Yeah.
The contradiction and the contrast of that on a day-to-day basis, if you're not careful,
Yeah.
can really fuck with your psyche.
Absolutely. And I think that's why I turned to content creation. It felt like I was able to just like curate my own little space on the internet. And I became like the CUNY TikTok girl.
Really?
Which was really cool. And I worked there for like a year and a half. And I was like the main admin of that account. And I was making sure that all 25 universities and colleges across New York City felt represented through my work.
You know what's funny?
Really lovely.
Yeah.
I'm very involved in like marketing and
Yeah.
like vision. And whenever I see marketing around New York City, I internally judge it, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
it's great, that's good. They could have done better.
You see the CUNY ads?
CUNY ads on the subway is very good.
They're really good.
Meet your day ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Very good. It definitely does a good job selling.
I want to say the interns are what make the communications and marketing office at CUNY what it is. I was an intern for a year and a half, and we did that. Like
That's awesome.
the interns are the people who are coming up with these ideas and saying, hey, let's use like a more Gen Z catchphrase on these ads. As someone who used to work there, and then obviously I had to graduate and spread my wings and go do other things, like I am very proud of the ads when I see them, even though I've had nothing to do with them. I was actually in a subway ad that CUNY did, one of the first ones they ever decided to do on the subways and on the billboards and everything. I was in the digital ad that they did to promote summer classes. And it
That's
felt awesome
awesome.
because like I did take summer class at CUNY because I wanted to graduate faster. So I like e-permitted classes at Queens College over the summer. I think I did like a dance class and it was awesome. And I graduated in 3.5 years.
Nice.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
going back to what you guys were saying about like being the finalist for that role,
Yeah.
and one thing that I really appreciate is I think people think that success, it's kind of either luck or you have to have this super talent.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they don't realize that a big portion of it is consistency and resiliency, because
100%.
behind a door is one opportunity to change your life. And if you stop trying, you're never going to get through that door. And
Yeah.
the more you try,
You also don't know.
never know.
Sorry to interrupt you, but you also don't know where that door is, right? Like we
You have no
always
idea.
think to ourselves, like perhaps this is the line that I have to cross to be successful, or for my entire life to change. And like often, A, it's not that point. It's much further in the fucking distance.
Yeah.
B, and sometimes it's around the corner and down the street.
Exactly.
And then it takes, to your point, I think consistency. I was reading this thing the other day, which I was like, fuck, that's so interesting. Like, we always talk about this in the context of people that work with us or work for us, right? And going like, having a talented team member is really wonderful. Having a consistent team member, invaluable. Invaluable.
Somebody who's not going to lose, right?
I would,
It's like,
well, I would much rather someone be consistent with what they do and how they do it, their attitude, the effort that they put in, all these kind of things, versus like a flash in the pan or someone who's like talented but has a shitty attitude, or is inconsistent in the way in which they deliver. I think like consistency is such a marker of like a good, strong human being.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with that being said, like breaks are also important.
100%.
As someone who was super consistent with my acting career, that loss on Sex Lives took me out. And then 2 weeks after that, I had an audition for Never Have I Ever for the role of Anissa, which was like the cool Indian girl that was coming in to like mess up Devi's vibe. And I was like, oh, I didn't get Sex Lives, but they love me so much, so then I'm going to get Anissa. That's how life is going to work. Okay. Not what happened. Didn't get it. Casting was like, we love her. No. And I was like, oh, and I think I didn't grieve those losses. And then by the time I was working at CUNY and finding this new love for like social media and like curating groups of people and making people feel like they are part of something, because CUNY is like super stigmatized for like just being a commuter school where people don't feel like they actually.
I still don't understand what it is.
So okay, so let me.
I still.
So okay.
So let's break it down. So like, there's a college.
Yes.
But then it's multiple colleges. But it's all called
it's
the city of.
CUNY is the group.
Yes.
Okay, so now there's 5 boroughs in New York, as you know: Staten Island, Queens,
I am
Bronx,
aware,
Manhattan,
yes.
Brooklyn. There has to be a certain proximity to attend these schools, and then each school's got a different niche, right? Business school, creative
Baruch was
school.
business.
Yeah, Hunter is more like science, pre-med vibes.
Okay,
And they're
okay.
also known for like theater, I guess, because they have a whole building dedicated to theater. But yeah, like each school has its own thing that they've got going on. So
they're
it's more of a
all CUNY.
collective.
Yeah, and what
Yeah.
I would say why it stigmatizes. Okay, so CUNY's a community college, and
Some are,
It's-
and some aren't.
and if you go to it's obviously Ivy League school, right? You know, Ivy League school,
Yeah, like
or you go to
Harvard
like
and
a
shit.
state school, or
Yeah.
you go to like a Duke, it's very prestigious. So if you go to like a college of Staten Island, it's like, oh, like you graduated from community school, but they don't realize like Baruch or Hunter are like prestigious business schools, right? It's like, oh, you graduated from Baruch, that's cool, and I have such a lower tuition than everybody else. Like it's $5,000 a semester.
It's so affordable.
This
it's
is amazing.
pretty
I
ridiculous
just need
for
to
middle
wrap my
class
head
families.
around the fact that they're all one thing, but they're not.
Yeah, they're
like
part
it.
of like, it's like a group,
A collective.
Yeah, a collective. Yeah, that's kind of what I call it to have it make sense to people that are not
'cause
from
I was
New
like,
York.
I think I remember seeing the subway ad, and I asked her, and I was like,
Yeah.
what do they mean?
I
There's
think-
all of them.
Yeah, especially coming from like a specialized high school, like if you went to CUNY, it was like, nah, girl. Like if you were not going to like USC, UCLA, like all these places, which I got into USC and UCLA. Again, I was not comfortable putting my mother in that position. I couldn't do it. And I wanted that flexibility to audition and all that. I wanted the flexibility of perhaps I could graduate in 3.5 years. And I knew CUNY was my only route to do that. So.
And it's
Smart
like,
decision.
so you know the like the dormitory life, you know, like
I personally know,
but like
Non-existent at CUNY though. Non-existent.
the show that we're talking about,
Sex Lives of College Girls.
yeah. So like for 4 years, they're out having a really cool college experience, but it's very different than when you're in CUNY. It's kind of like,
Did you live at home when you went to CUNY?
yeah, and
Okay.
like, but you could live in the city, you could live
Yeah.
at home, but like you're becoming a real adult. Like you're commuting, you're like probably having a job, you're probably doing other things. Where if you go to one of these schools, you're just in that bubble for 4 years, kind of learning and having fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how I feel about secondary education. Like, I'm all for it. For like,
Yeah.
if people want to go, each to their own. I'm not here to yuck your yum. I personally believe that a lot more of life can be learnt by living it
I agree.
and experiences. But then also at the same time, like if you're going to hone a craft of some sort. Like I think it's a really beautiful thing. You want to learn more about business, and you want to learn about it quickly, and you want to get a degree. Also, the stance and the pressure that America holds on secondary
100%.
education is vastly different than anywhere else in the
And
world.
South Asian parents.
I'm sure
that
so,
too.
so
I
sure.
didn't want to go to college, and I told my mom like I just out of high school I want to be auditioning, and she was like,
Nope.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Like cute, but like no. And I was like, wait, I thought you said like, because she thinks I'm good at acting, and that's why she lets me do it. She makes that very clear. She's like, if I thought you were shit, I would tell you absolutely not. Like you know those. kids who like go on American Idol and they're like making a fool out of themselves, and then their parents are like, "What? Like, no, but they're so good." Not my mom. She's the complete antithesis.
That's
I
awesome.
love that. I love
Yeah.
My
parents.
mom, when I was in high school, I told her I was going to be in the NBA, and she
You
looked
had a lot of dreams.
I have
To have the confidence
I
of
love
Joe.
it.
Hey, if
No,
something
You got
worked.
to. You got
Listen,
to.
look where we are now. But the
Yeah.
confidence of Joe, like if you could tap into that and fucking bottle it, we'd be gajillion.
But my mom, so I was, freaking white kid,
Yeah.
not even 6 feet in high school. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
going to be in the NBA. And my mom was like, no, you're not. I was like, can't believe you don't believe in me. She's like, I believe in you, but I'm realistic. You're not going to be in the NBA. And I
Yeah.
was like, Mom, you're so wrong. Fast forward. I was like, yeah, not
Yeah.
even close.
Right. Then you wanted to be an actor. Then you wanted to be a model. Then so on
But
and
I
so
think
forth.
what I would say to people is don't lose that confidence, because
No.
if it's channeled the right way, you're going to find your thing that's special.
100%.
And mine
Yeah.
wasn't physical. It was more using the brain for something.
I think it's the belief in oneself, right?
Yeah.
I think I think so much of society, and this is how social media becomes a very double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It can be used for good. We were talking about this in the last podcast, or it can be used for evil in terms of breaking people's spirits down.
For sure.
The belief in oneself is so vitally important because that will fuel every decision, every friendship, every relationship that you make.
Yeah.
And the older I get in life, can't believe I'm about to be 35, which is crazy. Feels like I'm so young and so old at the same time. The more I recognize that if I could turn back time, that's the thing that I would curate more within myself, is the belief in myself and the belief in like my decisions and how in which I operate,
I feel the same way.
right?
Yeah.
Because if you don't believe in yourself, why would somebody else believe in you?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But it's like, it's those little cliches that are cliches for a reason, the things that like every person, particularly the younger generations growing up with this onslaught of media, this onslaught of you should be this way, you should act this way, this is the only acceptable way to be operating.
Yeah.
Pull back from that a little bit, take a little bit from the people around you who are like genuinely there for you, and then understand like they're the opinions that matter.
Can I
Yeah.
ask some of my Gen Z questions?
Darling, I would love for you to answer.
Oh dear.
Okay,
I hope I'm Gen Z enough for these.
let's see. So having grown up basically after the major social boom of social media,
Yes.
do you feel like your generation is genuinely more connected or more isolated than millennials of the same age?
I think isolated, I would say. The pandemic was like a huge part of that too. Like, I think that just made people like turn very inward of all ages. But obviously, I think Gen Z was quite affected by that because we were going into college.
How do you guys cope with that? Because when you're someone like our age, obviously each generation doesn't understand the previous one or the one before them, as well as the generation. And one thing for me in the business world is things like accountability and things like eye contact and social skills that go such a long way, where they're not, how intelligent are you on paper? It's just more how do you act?
Yeah.
It's hard for me to kind of understand and sympathize.
Yeah.
How do you guys deal with that, where it's like even making eye contact? Like I know people your age, they're really
They can't do
poor
it.
at making eye contact.
I literally just had like a falling out with one of my best friends ever over this exact thing. I don't want to be like, I'm the exception and that doesn't pertain to me, but like that is how I feel. I have been raised too well to like act that way, like to not have the eye contact or to not take accountability for my
made
actions.
eye contact this entire time.
Yeah, like, and I learned that from ballroom dancing. My elementary school made us take ballroom dancing, and she talked about the importance of eye contact, and I've just been on that wave ever since. But even my mom, like every time she spoke to me as a kid, like as the youngest memories I have is my mom making direct eye contact with me, being straightforward with me. If I had done something wrong, she was just really frank with me. And that's how I want to communicate with people. There's no reason to like beat around the bush and whatever. So I literally just had a falling out with my friend, like I said, about this exact thing. Cause like we had gone to like Paris together, and she came to Toronto for my birthday trip, and I invited like my sister and my two other best friends in the whole world, and I was like, dude, love you so much. You're on your phone all the time. I feel like I didn't even see you this whole trip. How is that possible when you were with me every waking second of every day? In Paris, it was just me and her, and I shit you not, like we were in like the Picasso museum, like literally looking at original Picassos. Some of the most beautiful brushstrokes I've ever seen in my life.
Chills right now.
Yeah, dude. Like we were sitting in there, and I'm staring at and I'm like, wow, like this is beautiful. She's sitting on the bench on her phone. I'm like, there's no way right now. Like, but it's just affected her differently. And there are other things that contribute to that as well. I'm not going to pin it to like, yeah, she just one day decided to like be on her phone all day. There are things that contribute to that. I just don't think they have affected me the same way.
You know that they say that this is the first generation that will have more memories of other people's lives than our own.
Yeah, similar to that, I saw a quote on some video I was watching that was like, never has a generation recorded themselves accomplishing so little. And I was like, oh shit. I was like,
that's interesting.
Damn, like that's crazy.
But isn't that so true? Imagine if we transported the actions that we take 50 years ago, 100 years ago. People would be like, what the fuck are these people doing?
There's so many layers to this too. Like, one thing that I always live by is when I die, what are people going to say about me? And when you're in Paris with your best friend, there's nothing that she's going to say about you or you're going to say about her because there was nothing there.
Yeah.
And there's kind of, yes, it's a loss of life, but did it really, like, are you going to really miss something? And I think, what does that do to you? Because I've been in that same situation as well. People my age do it. And I'm like, you being on your phone is taking more of my energy because I don't want to make things awkward. And I'm going to be the one to ask questions. I'm going to be the one to make us do things. And that becomes draining. And similarly, like I showed Hannah the other day, I was looking at, sometimes I go on a deep dive of like the coolest concerts of all time, right? And just like the crowd reaction. And I got to 2016 and there was a shift where every single person in the crowd was doing this.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is so insane that all these people are in such a monumental moment in their life and none of them are there.
Yeah.
They're all recording it.
We're viewing our life through a secondary mode.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it inhibits, like, going back to what you guys were saying earlier, it inhibits even the most basic social skills of being able to make eye contact.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody yesterday. I was like talking to them and they were like, yeah, It's like, you can just tell it's so deeply uncomfortable for them. But the fact that our society, and this is again not a blanket statement because there are so many people that can sit and have this beautiful conversations like this, right? Feels more comfortable alone. And when I say alone, because they're actually kept company by all of these things,
absolutely,
then in front of each other is perhaps the saddest thing that's come from this technology boom. Again, everything is a double-edged sword. Like, it's so incredible. We live in this technological age. It's like phenomenal things. Like me coming from Australia, I can call my mum in 2 seconds. I can talk to her and she's on the other side of the world. It's gorgeous, right? But the sacrifice that we make, and the sacrifice, if we're not careful, our children and our children and our children's children will continue to make, is eerie.
This is a great segue into
one of other Joe's questions.
No, it's not.
Oh, not a Gen Z question.
Yes.
It is a Gen Z question. Okay.
To Tilly Norwood.
Oh, yeah.
So to wrap this up, to wrap this up, it's like, okay, you go to a Beyonce concert, and for me with music, I want to feel, right?
Of course.
I want to be present. If you're on your phone, you could ask somebody, how was the concert? It was great. I got 10,000 views on my video. How was the concert though? Like, what'd you feel? I don't know.
Bad.
Tilly Norwood. So AI is insane.
Yeah.
Right? The things it could do is insane. It can create people. But say you as a human being, your parent died. And you're like, I need someone to talk to you about this. And it's like, okay, talk to your AI friend. There's this new app, The Friend.
I can't.
So now they're going to train Tilly Norwood or someone like her to talk to you and answer the way that you want.
Yeah.
But you're not feeling what I'm feeling. You're not feeling the hurt. You're not feeling all these emotions.
Of course.
And I think that blurs art so much.
Yeah, the Tilly Norwood thing, bro. Like, I remember I was just tapping through my stories one day and then I saw a bunch of my actor friends and not my actor friends like posting that, and I was like, fucking, what are we doing? Like, there's a point where you have to just kind of laugh and be like, no, come on. But then you stop laughing because then you read the articles and you see all this stuff. The fact that like people want to represent her, what the actual fuck are we doing? I haven't looked into like what agencies were actually
like WME,
thinking.
like UTA.
What the fuck are we doing? Like, come the fuck on. Like, let's be so fucking. I have friends that like from LaGuardia who like didn't get signed right out of high school, right? Like me, who still don't have representation to this day. Like, and they're competing now against something that is literally, it doesn't exist. What? Like,
I think it speaks to the fact that this is not what people want, but this is basically what the people who control society want.
Yeah.
Is they want something that they can control, right? Like, humans are we're not really controllable in a lot of ways. And
the fact that it's a girl.
The fact that it's a woman.
The fact that it's a young girl.
Well, what's going to happen, because this is a deeper question of like evolution. Like, AI is going to get bigger and bigger, like technology did in the in the 70s, 80s, like
Yeah.
till now, like, and we love it. Like we love FaceTiming. So it's going to keep getting there, but there's going to be a path. It's, do humans and AI exist together, or does AI
take
overtake
over?
humans?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
me personally, like they started playing a lot of AI songs and they're insane, like insanely good.
Yeah.
But
Oh, do you like them?
not that I like them, but like they take all the best artists, all
Yeah.
their voices and the
Yeah.
best lyrics and put it into a song. How could
Yeah.
you not be like, that's amazing?
I don't know.
like
I can
it.
tell immediately, and then I go ew, 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 and then I like swipe away
I'm going
from
to play you
it.
something after we get off. You're going to be like, what the fuck?
Okay.
Well, now she already knows it's AI.
Yeah, but for sure. But it goes to the podcast we listened to when they played it. In any case, can AI and human art live together?
I don't think AI is art.
Whatever it is, it's going to be there.
My
Yeah, I'm with you
perspective,
on that one.
I really truly think that something like art is imperfect. Imperfect. I said that in such a funny inflection. Art is imperfect.
Yeah.
And it's human. And the reason why we love actors is because they don't look perfect and they don't sound perfect and they have these really human moments that we connect to.
Yeah.
The reason why we love music is because there are some offbeats and some this and some that. Like, I would hate to see a world where everything was perfected, because then nothing would
And
be
I
perfect.
totally agree. I'm just saying that it's not like we're going to be like, you know what, we don't want AI, because
No,
that's
no,
not going to
no.
happen. And some people
Right.
do bring up good points, and not to say that I
Just
agree
get
with
it out
them,
of the arts.
but you have a movie and you have 500 background actors. That costs a production studio $2 million.
Right.
AI can have background actors that are not I don't want to say contributing, but not vital to the movie. Not that I agree with it, but that's where their minds are going is,
For sure. I think background actors are very vital
Yeah.
in every single thing I've worked on. I feel like we've
Who
had
does that
background
benefit,
actors.
though? This is my
Yeah.
question, right?
You know
so
who
like,
benefits?
Background actors get
the
their
budget
SAG,
of the movie.
like background actors get their SAG card that way, you know, like, and then
Yeah.
they're part of the union, and then I
so
mean,
that's what I'm saying. So like the only entity or people that benefits are the people who are making billions of dollars.
right.
but
No? Okay. I don't know where your butt's going, but
I-
I disagree with it already.
okay.
What-
No,
so
you
what
could
were
say
about to
like, you again, I don't agree with it, but this is the conversation that we have to have.
Yeah.
There could be 10 main actors and they could say, because we've cut all this out, there's this pool that's now going to you guys, which is not a bad thing for those
But to
pieces of
Kalissa's
art.
point, I think it's like it's the way in which you work up. Like how
Yeah.
like those main
Yeah, I get it.
actors, right? There's like millions of actors in the United States.
100%. And in
Possibly-
SAG
in SAG
too
in
as
particular.
well. Yeah.
And like you have to do a certain amount of things
What
to
if,
be able to get
okay,
your SAG
and I'm
card.
just playing devil's advocate because I don't want you guys to think I agree with this.
Right.
But what if that same studio, there was an agreement and the studio said, okay, whoever was supposed to be the background actors, we're taking that budget and you guys are going to go create your own indie film. And now it promotes both things.
But what
I
was
don't think that's ever gonna happen.
Yeah, that would never
yeah.
happen.
Why?
Ever happen.
I'm not a big hypothetical entertainer, so then maybe that's why I'm just
And
like,
also that's such a far stretch of
yeah,
of
it's
a
quite
thing.
quite far.
You need to cut it. Do it.
Okay.
We're gonna finish in 5 minutes anyway. That's so hypothetical though.
Yeah, it's
I'm
quite
playing the
hypothetical.
devil's
No, but it's not
advocate.
even like devil's advocate. It's just like you imagine imagine Warner Brothers being like, actually, guys, we're
Yeah,
gonna give
go
every
make an
single
indie project,
one of
guys. You go have fun.
$25,000 to
Yeah.
go create an indie film. But what happens if they don't want to be directors or producers? They just want to be actors.
Yeah.
Then what happens, Joe?
That's why it's a debate.
Is it really a debate?
I
disagree.
Listen, I built a company in real life.
right.
I'm an advocate for the arts.
I think it's important to bring up these conversations just because this is the real perspective
Yeah.
of people. So then, like,
It's very
I
true.
do get it,
like
but
I'm not
yeah.
gonna sugarcoat and be like, oh yeah, everything's fine. Like it's gonna work out.
But
It's-
also,
what's
like, the
conversation?
consumer does recognize when people do this. Like, I think there was I don't know if there was some Disney movie, some prom something or other, and people were like, yo, the background actors look fucked. Like, why did they look
Fake
like
as
that,
anything.
right?
Yeah.
So, like, no one's stupid.
People know.
Yeah.
People know. They're not
Are we
stupid.
back harder?
We are back.
Oh.
So you, baby, if you have one more question,
One
ask
more.
away,
Okay,
or one more
I want it to be a
topic.
good one because Kalissa's like nailing these.
It's almost like I'm a trained
Press.
actor
It's
or
almost
something.
like you've done this before.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this one? What is a new form of rebellion for young people? If it's like breaking the rules or acting out in a way that, like, you know, people my age would like do something physically that was rebellious. But like, what do you guys do? What's rebellious to you?
I think fashion's pretty rebellious. I feel like, especially in a place like New York, everyone is quite literally doing whatever the fuck they want to do with their fashion choices, me included. I think going to LaGuardia kind of like rocked my fashion perspective. Even something as simple as like a girl not wearing a bra, I was like, what? Like I was like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Like I didn't know you were allowed to do that. Like what's going on? But like then my mom would like my mom worked really close to LaGuardia, so there were some days where she would like come pick me up from school, yes, even at 14, 15, 16, and it was really lovely and really great. Some of my favorite memories are like going to school and coming home with my mom. Sad. But yeah, she would like come to my school and be like, these kids look like they don't shower. Like, why do they look like that? Or like they weren't wearing bras, and she'd be like, oh my God. And my mom, she is from India. She was born in India. She came here when she was 6. She grew up in like Woodside. Like she's a Queens girl through and through. But then there are certain things that I feel like she kind of like reverts back to,
her
to being Indian.
Instilled
right,
that into
absolutely. Yeah. And like she would never do that. Like she would never like not wear a bra or anything like that. But then me and my sister, you know, then we're going to school and we're seeing all these things and we got the internet and we're like, is it really that serious? No, we don't think it is.
I'll say I agree because marrying a model and having access to that fashion world from 5 years ago until now, I think I feel so happy with my fashion where my friends like, man, you dress cool now. I'm like, hey, I'm married to
I think you realize that fashion is a form of self-expression and perhaps the most important outward form of self-expression.
Oh, yeah.
And so when you dress in things that make you feel good, your confidence, not that it needs help in a lot of regards, is then even doubled. You know what I mean? Like you present yourself to the world in such a way.
Let's
and
be clear. I'm not conceited. I don't
think so. I don't think so.
Joe's not conceited.
I don't think I'm the best.
Well, actually, there's days where he's like, I'm fucking Jesus. And then there's days where he's like,
you have to have those days.
I'm very honest with myself. My biggest champion and my biggest critic.
I love it. Me too.
But I love the level of self-confidence you have. I think it's so beautiful. And you're also hyper self-aware. Like you know when you fuck up, you know when you're not acting right. Like you're very self-aware of all this.
But I want to ask both of you this question. So
I can ask
you guys have, you know, a level of expertise into fashion.
Yeah.
And New York, coolest people. But also clones. When Hannah
for sure
moved here, she was like, why does every guy who works in finance
dress like that?
Do they think that it's cool because it
Patagonia
looks silly?
vest and that type
I saw
shit?
one on the fucking site. It's like spotting a bear in the wild.
Yeah.
Like I saw one this morning and I was like, it's like the exact same pant. It stops at the exact same place. It's the exact same shoe with the exact same sock. And then the fucking puffer vest with your arms out.
What would your advice be to, because I was a finance guy and I think we should help
Did you wear a Patagonia vest?
Yeah,
and
I was like,
that?
this is the sickest thing. Like I'm the guy.
Did you really think genuinely you were like, this is fine?
Well,
like
you only
I look
know
great.
what you're
It's
around.
environment, yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I had access to people like yourself, what would your advice be to them?
I would just say,
keep in mind they have a certain job, a certain cleanness to them.
I would just say take a little bit more time to discover the human being that you are versus just this worker bee. Because I think the more, and you can probably attest to this, the more you discover yourself, the more you discover your own style.
Yeah.
So just like take a little bit of time, look yourself in the mirror, be like, do I really want to dress like this?
I think it transcends clothes a lot of the time too. I think accessories are super powerful. I love when a guy wears like jewelry because to me, I'm like, that's where you can get creative with this. Some people like silver, some people like gold, some people like to mix metals, some people like to wear sunglasses, some people don't. Like, I think that's where it gets really, really exciting for men's fashion in particular. I'm trying to get my boyfriend right now to like try to dabble in jewelry, but he doesn't like having stuff on him. Like it makes him feel like, so yeah,
As you know,
we're working on it.
Writing room because of that.
Right.
Oh, you did it on purpose.
Wait, how much time do we have? 'Cause
we have like
a minute? Okay.
a minute.
Okay.
So you guys have, this is the one piece of research I did. You guys have similarities. You were in Paris Fashion Week as well?
I was.
You did?
So you're both Paris Fashion Week?
I worked in Paris. So I walked for...
You walked?
Yeah. So when I started modeling, I got scouted by IMG.
Hannah was a big deal.
And then I moved
She was a big
over
deal.
to...
What do you mean was? What do you mean
When
was?
she retired.
Like in modeling.
In modeling.
Okay,
She was very
yeah.
prestigious.
And then when I started in Paris, I walked for my first season for like 8-9 shows, like all haute couture. It was phenomenal.
Amazing.
It's such fun.
That's awesome.
I was like super naive too. I was like, what's Chanel? I literally had no
What did
idea.
you walk?
I love it.
I walked Chanel, Hugo Boss, Christian Dior, Georgia Chakra, a couple of other like really beautiful brands. But again, I was like so naive. I was like literally said to my agency, like, you booked Chanel, and I was like, is that good?
Yeah.
Like, we happy about that?
What was your experience?
I went for like a French PR company just invited me, and I thought it was a scam email, and I was like, but low-key, like, again, being self-employed, I was like, I can write this off. Like, I can go to Paris and write it off because I'm going for work. This is crazy. So that's what I did. I just kind of went to go. I had time. I was like, let me just go for like 48 hours, have a nice time, and get out of there. And it was cool. I went to the shows, but I also got to see things. I got to see like the Eiffel Tower and stuff like that. And
Picasso's.
So that's the thing you guys know that you have in common. Well, you didn't actually. But you have another thing in common.
Oh.
You were both in Super Bowl commercials.
You were? Wait, which one?
Bounty.
When?
Well, it was
Bounty
actually
and Tostitos.
Yeah, well, so it's
Last
like
year or this year?
No,
No,
it was
a
just
long time
like
ago.
4 or 5 years ago.
Oh.
But what's the company that owns like Bounty and like all
P&G.
P&G.
I literally
P&G
just did a
commercial.
spot with P&G. I was just on a billboard in Times Square the other day because I did a secret deodorant commercial and they had us all
cool.
on the spot. But that's so
I've also
sweet.
been on a billboard in Times Square. Look at us.
We're literally the same person.
Yeah, P&G commercial.
What was
Love
your
it.
Super Bowl commercial?
It was a Ritz crackers commercial
So
with.
Tostitos, Ritz.
Oh
Both
my
P&G.
god! Wow, but it is a competitor. That is Frito-Lay, I believe, right?
It's all right. We don't have to be
okay.
competitors.
Yeah, we don't have
It
to
was
be.
a good time.
Yeah.
You know what my role was?
Yeah, what did
Yeah,
you do?
I was-
Model.
Oh, did you have a name?
No,
Just model.
just model.
Who was in the commercial with you?
Sofia Vergara, what's his name? Rob Riggle,
Cool.
like a bunch of other people, and then the fellow who
was a
does
big
the Head and
commercial.
Shoulders. It was like
Nice.
literally all the P&G.
I love it.
Products all in one commercial.
Wait, that's so
and
insane.
it was interactive, so people could like text in, and then they could determine the end of it.
Oh yeah, and they
Really
threw
cool.
they threw the football and then someone had Tostitos and it fell and then they cleaned it up with the Bounty.
Oh.
and
Yeah, it was like an
Nice.
entire thing. It was really fun.
Oh, I love that.
Who was
Thank
in
you for
yours?
that connection.
Aubrey Plaza, Michael Shannon, and Bad Bunny.
Ori
wow,
Plaza, did you
cool.
use a meter?
Like meet
Yeah.
is a really strong word.
very true.
The director Jake was like, "Oh guys, this is the salty teen." I like roll my eyes in the commercial, so they were like, "Oh, this is the salty teen," and Aubrey Plaza and Michael Shannon were like, and just kind of kept working, and I
Okay.
respect that. I was like, you know what? Yeah,
Fair.
you're gonna be on your feet for plenty of hours, just shoving Ritz crackers in each other's mouths. Like
You were
you
the
do your
salty
thing.
teen?
Salty teen. That was my role. Yeah, and then I also didn't know Bad Bunny was in the commercial. I knew about Aubrey Plaza and Michael Shannon because we had like a script, so I was like, okay, and it had like APMS, and I was like, okay, and I feel like I had heard rumblings on set when I did my fitting. But then I was sitting in my little chair as my salty teen, just kind of cash, talking to the extras. Shout out extras. And then they were like, okay, yeah, we're ready for him. And then Bad Bunny just kind of like walked on to set, and I was like, that's a really good Bad Bunny impersonator. Like, that's actually so crazy. Like, because he's so busy. I was like, there's no way he's in Brooklyn right now. Like, this doesn't make any sense. And I was like, and then I was like to the extras, I was like, are we? And then they were like, and I was like, oh, you also think he's an impersonator? Okay, it was him.
Wow, so cool.
So yeah, that was him. I didn't say hi to at all because I was just like, what the hell was
Starstruck.
going on? But he like walked past me at a point, and I like literally did not know what to do. I love his music. He's such a cool guy. And so I was just like, and he probably thinks I'm crazy to this day. But now he's performing at the Super Bowl, so like crazy how
Nice.
I did that for him.
You
Amazing.
created
Crazy
you,
how
you made it happen.
Yeah,
for him,
on
really.
set I was like, wait guys, wouldn't it be crazy if a year from now like he was
planted
just
the seed.
Yeah.
Kalissa, this was so much fun.
Thanks,
Truly, so much fun. I feel like
yeah.
there's so much more that we could talk about. So we'll have to do a part 2 at some point.
Ooh, let's do it.
But for anybody that doesn't know you, where can they find you?
At Kalissa Persaud on all platforms, including Spotify. I am a certified Spotfluencer. I have like 500 followers on Spotify. I've been curating that long before my content creator journey, which a lot of people don't know. But now now that I have a following, I've started to like throw my playlists out there and be like, hey, if you guys want to take a look. And now some of my playlists have like 1,000 followers each, which is
Good for you.
pretty cool.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah,
Now I know.
now
dude.
become one.
Well,
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
Spotify
Spotfluencer.
follower.
Yes, indeed.
Spotfluencer.
Spotfluencer. Yes.
My darling, would you like to do the outro?
Yes. Thank you guys for listening. Please check out one of our past episodes and please subscribe. It helps us go a long way. We will see you next time and happy connecting.